So this is a nice one. Britain must train citizen army military chiefs warn. What's that, like Dad's Army, is it? Don't know if any of you ever watched Dad's Army. Don't tell him your name, Pike. I always thought it was funny, but what are they, to what level exactly? Because we've got problems here. We've got an aging population of people that could possibly volunteer, but generally speaking, their health's not great. Then we've got a population like me, where we're out to work at the moment. Well, some of us are, and they're not actually going to be able to do a great deal. Although, would they train them anyway, so that when you come home from work at night time, you go out, much like Dad's Army did back in the day? And then you've got also the snowflakes, the weak, the woke, the mentally incapable, the people that don't even know what gender they are, and all that kind of stuff. And obviously, I don't think these people are going to be too quick to rush to hell. So let's see what he says anyway. Let us know what you think about cookies. I'd like one if you can offer me one. Oh, right, okay. So, Jonathan Blade, defence correspondent, and Doug, well, that's the bloke that said it. Britain should train a citizen army ready to fight a war on land in the future, the head of the army has said. Sir General Patrick Sanders warned that an increase in reserve forces alone would not be enough. Okay, so that would be, well, what do we call them now? The TA? Is that the Territorial Army? That would be the reserves, I think. And then you've got the people also that have served and have stopped serving now, but they could be called up. Is that part of them? I don't know. I've not been in the military, so I wouldn't know. Anyway, he highlighted the threat from Russia. Okay, he highlighted the threat from Russia and pointed to steps being taken by other European nations to put their population on a war footing. He also called for more to be done to equip and modernise the UK's armed forces. Right, fair one. Although they're on about mothballing a couple of ships, I've heard just lately, because they can't get the staff for the new boats, so they're going to take them out the old boats. Yeah, we have problems. He also called for more to be done to equip and modernise, and in a speech at an armoured vehicle conference, because we're better not to actually give a speech, but when you're trying to flog kit, General Sir Patrick was not making an argument for conscription, where men of fighting age are required to enlist in the military. They're basically told you've got to go or else, but rather laying the foundations for a voluntary call-up if war broke out. He talked about the need for the UK's pre-war generation to prepare for the possibility of war, and said that was a whole world. What does he say? He said that, I hate reading, by the way, I'm dyslexic. He said there was a whole of a nation undertaking. Right, so basically what he's saying is that if we endeavour to go and piss off Russia that much that we've got to go to war, then we'd like to think there's going to be a load of you gormless facts that'll volunteer to sacrifice yourself so we can make a few quid. Now, I can see yet again more problems with this, because at the moment you can't get people to go in as paid army people. You can't get them. Nobody wants to do it because, well, you've knocked all the patrioticness out of these people. Generally said that being proud of your country is a bad thing, so you're not going to get people to go and fight for you, and that's obviously going to go against this. So if you can't if you can't ask them, press gang them. That was an old trick they used to do. Go around the pubs when your boat was a bit short, stick a coin into a person's glass, and if they drank out of it, they're in. Or actually, not even that. Sometimes they just drag them onto the boat and keep them prisoner until they're out at sea. Well, that's it. Off you go. And a lot of these people had never been on sea before, but nevertheless, that didn't matter. And some of them weren't very good at it, and some of them died. Hey-ho. That's why sometimes you'll see a tankard with a glass bottom. People would look to see if they're, and if there was, no, I ain't drinking. Anyway, back to today. So they are pushing for war, right? And they are going to have to train a nation of people for the possibility of this, if this goes ahead. Because at the moment, this is a lot of fear. But at the end of the day, if you fall for the fear, then obviously you'll fall for the spending that they want to go for, all right? Because the pre-build up to war, there's huge amounts of spending. Cold War, infinite amounts of spending. Literally, it's just an open fucking checkbook ready to go. So we have that. But you're actually going to have to change all of your policies towards us lot to make us ready to go to war. So all of this, everybody gets a medal, that's all gone. Everybody can pick what gender, that's all gone. Everybody's all about the feelings, that's all gone. Everybody's doesn't or shouldn't be proud of their country. Well, you're going to have to change that one as well. Come to think of it, for you to actually get a result and get people to go and sign up for this lunacy, right, you're going to have to reverse everything you've done in the last 20, 25, 30 years. Pretty much everything we've been telling you to do. Hey, been right again. But it is what it is. You're actually going to have to man these cunts up. That was a toxic fucking masculinity thing that you hated, but now it's actually going to play in your favour. And as I said, the pendulum will swing, but it'll have to, because otherwise you won't get any meat for your grinder, will you? So you're going to actually have to start training kids at school to love their country. That's going to go against you as well, because if you're telling them to love their country and fight for their country, when they see the obvious invading army that's already coming into the country, they might not be on board with that. And that might prove difficult as well. So you've really got your work cut out. You've either got to renege on what you're doing, all right, change your way of thinking and change your policies and bring a generation of people up to be, oh, fuck me, men and women, okay? And in which case they're going to go against your policy of mass immigration and all of that shit. And even when you're done, then they might turn on you because they realise you're the biggest pile of shit and you're actually a danger to world safety, as well as your own population and your own country. Yeah, I could see this being a problem for you. Actually, what you're working yourself into is a no-win situation. And what you're actually doing is working to a situation where we on the right win. Because you'll basically turn people back into being what they were meant to be. And if they turn back into what they were meant to be, they'll actually start thinking with a normal head. And in so doing, they'll work out that you lot are a bunch of degenerate, psychopathic lunatics that actually hate us. Hey, you're going to get these people fit. You might even train them to be, I don't know, work as a cohesive group. And then imagine that. You've got a young, fit, traditional, patriotic group of people who can see through your shit and who actually want what's best for this country. I can't think of a better thing. Or you have nobody for your army and nothing happens, because you won't be able to conscript anybody because they'll all be too mentally weak. So you won't have any cannon fodder. Or of course you could always use the new to the reservation people. They all look fighting fit and they look quite fit and ready to go and, well, start a war. Probably not with who you want. We might be actually looking at it that way, but either way, it's not in our benefit. But hey, you want to join the country? Sign up. Wasn't that what happened when the Irish got straight off the boat when they landed over in America? Sign up. And then they got sent off to war. Not quite what they had in planned. Whatever. Yes, mad times. I'm quite looking forward to them. Anyway, I've got to have my tea and I've got 3 minutes left. So I'll see you in a bit.